All right, I want to go back to discuss the latest on the government shutdown from a congressional perspective and see if we're seeing any movement and getting the government up and running again. Joining me now to discuss this and more is Congressman Randy Weber. He serves on the House Committee on Energy and Commerce and co-chairs the bipartisan task force for combating anti-Semitism. He represents the 14th Congressional District of Texas. Congressman Weber, thanks so much for joining us. Welcome back to Washington Watch.
Thank you, Tony. We appreciate all y'all do. Thank you.
Before we get into a conversation about the shutdown, which really hasn't changed a whole lot, I want to get your reaction to the news coming out today that President Trump may meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you look at President Trump's record, he's been doing great things around the world, and people have started listening to him. Will Vladimir Putin do it? Your guess is as good as mine. I tell you what, the president is doing some really good stuff. I'm glad to see him continue to make that effort and, dare I say, put pressure on the Russians. But I'm glad to see their meeting, Tony.
Do you think it was the threat of giving the Patriot missiles to, the Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine?
Ukraine. Well, not only that, but of course, the European Union, as you know, and NATO is on board now. And so maybe that will build, maybe that threat added to it so that, Putin would think, hey, this guy is serious. Of course, if he's watching what's going on over the Middle East, he knows that Trump is serious. I just don't know how crazy Vladimir Putin really is.
Well, let's turn now to the government shutdown, Randy. What's the latest you're hearing? I mean, earlier today, the Senate Democrats blocked the annual full-year defense appropriations bill. I mean, this is a bipartisan piece of legislation that always passes. What's going on?
Tony, well, here's what's going on. Our great president, as we just talked about, is making a lot of changes around the world. People sitting up and listening to him, knowing that there's a new sheriff in town. It's not what I call Biden, because I think he's Obama's third term in the office anymore. It's Donald Trump, and he means what he says. So I think what the Democrats are doing is they don't, even though they have voted 3 times in the past for this level of spending, I'm not saying that spending's not out of control, because I got involved when Reagan ran for re-election in '83 as a Republican back then. And we had a saying that there's too much waste, fraud, and abuse, right, coming out of Congress. It's still that way, and now finally to this point we have a chance to make a difference. But the Democrats don't want to do that, Tony, because it would give President Trump more credibility. They don't want him to have the option to sign that bill into law.
Also, on where the Democrats have chosen to take a stand over these premium subsidies for Obamacare, which were designed really to prop it up, are they fearful, you think, that it implodes and therefore they have to keep propping it up?
I think they are. And remember, too, Tony, I know you've been paying attention. You guys do a really great job. We love Washington Watch. But remember this, too. The Democrats have been saying the Republicans are trying to destroy Medicaid. No, we're not. We're taking out all the people of Medicaid that don't deserve to be on Medicaid, young single male adults of age, of course, that should be out getting a job and not sitting on their you-know-whats at home drawing Medicaid. And then we've got illegals that are drawing Medicaid. These are the ones that we're focused on, and the Democrats can't stand it.
Randy, we just have about a little over a minute left. I'm going to turn for a moment to Israel. You've been there recently. Obviously, major developments there this week. But the president telling Hamas, if you don't lay down your arms, if you're killing others, you're going to get killed yourself. How do you see this playing out?
Well, let's watch it and see. I'm glad he did. Now, you probably know this. A Hamas sniper, was it yesterday, I think? I think it was the day before yesterday. Shot and killed an Israeli soldier, even though that disagreement in principle had been reached on the front end. Still, one of our great Israeli IDFs lost his life because Hamas are killers. And that's the point here. If you read their charter from back in whenever it was, 1984 or 5, I think, they literally say their job is to kill all Jews and destroy the state of Israel. I don't think they can be trusted. I hope and pray we don't have to shed American blood over there, but Israel is our greatest neighbor and ally. And so we'll see what happens, what Hamas does going forward.
Yeah, certainly something to continue to pray about. Congressman Randy Weber, always great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Tony. Appreciate you guys.